Mikel, not the result that you wanted tonight. What happened?
That the better team won. Very simple. I think they deserve to win the match. They were better. They were much more committed than us in a lot of basics that are very relevant to win a full match, and that's it.
It was a great game for us. I think especially the second half, we deserved to win this game. I think the first half Arsenal were very dominant. We couldn't get them off the ball really. We had to run so much to close them and down and keep it 0-0 to half time. And then the second half was completely different in my perspective, and I think we deserved to win the game in the end.
Was this performance a surprise to you, out of character?
It surprised me, but as well I have to understand that it's a run of 10 games, and these boys deserve a lot of credit. Probably nobody expected those boys to play at the level that they've been playing. And when they have a difficult night, that is my responsibility and it's my duty to protect them.
Yes, so a defeat tonight, and it really does pile the pressure on Arsenal, doesn't it?
It does. I think they're fortunate because I know Zurich won tonight, but they hadn't won in the previous 13 games, so it's a bit of a gimme for Arsenal. But it's unnecessary in some respects, and I think that at this moment in time they're going through a little bit of a difficult period where the squad is looking a little bit stretched and a little bit tired. They were poor second half against Southampton at the weekend, but this period was bound to happen. But they're still in a good position with regards to the group.
Yeah, OK. Well, look, the pressure, was certainly there from that first half. The chances were coming there for PSV, a couple of disallowed goals as well. But the introduction of Luuk de Jong, all that experience, that focal point as well, he really changed the game, becoming a provider and a scorer.
It's amazing there's still a role for a big centre-forward. And he played really well. He used his experience. He's a fantastic player who comes with a brilliant CV. And when you get older, Resh, sometimes you get lots of experience and you know the game. Holding gets too tight. He had a real impact. Even the little ball there, the weight of pass was correct. He was a nuisance for the back line when he came on the second half. Never been blessed with the greatest pace in the world, but a really, really good football brain. Technically very, very good. And for a young, vibrant side, he was like the perfect number 9 for them, using his brains and having all that legs in and around him.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And, Don's right. You've got Gakpo and Seamans running off him. They could be a little bit more direct and go into him, but he holds the ball up well and releases the likes of Seamans and Gakpo. And they were a big threat in the second half.
Yeah, we're going to be looking at a few of those threats, actually, in a moment. But for Luuk de Jong as well, he did get his goal in the end. And he deserved it, didn't he, for the impact he had?
Yeah, he did an assist. And I've got to say, Ramsdale, if he comes, he has to get that. I think Tierney bodies de Jong, but if Ramsdale stays in his line, he saves this easily. But the fact he's committed himself, it's an easy header in the end. He just has to get it on target. He does, and then it was a really long way back for Arsenal. No way back, but he was the difference tonight, de Jong.
He certainly was, and Ramsdale certainly won't want to watch that one back. But you mentioned Simons and Gakpo, two players who really were a handful in that first half. Real bright sparks as well. I feel like there'll be big clubs with their eyes on them. They've already been on Gakpo, but I think Simons is sort of, having his moment.
Yeah, fantastic young players. I mean, Gakpo on the radar of Man United, they've been trying to get him for quite a while. But I thought Seamans caught the eye tonight. Xavi Seamans, he's still a young boy, only at 19. This is Gakpo's finish, but he's been around. He's been at PSG and Barca. He's went right through the Dutch levels from under 15s to 21s. And these two, I thought, when you've got good technical players with experience like De Jong showed in the second half, you need this youth, you need this skill. And Simons has got this. Look, they're afraid of him in the 18-yard box. They don't want to touch him. They're petrified of his skill and his pace. In the end, it was another offside goal, which cost them. But in terms of two bright young players that I'm pretty sure all the scouts and all the big European clubs will keep an eye on, I thought those two caught the eye.
I mean, he wasn't getting enough game time at PSG, and I think we understand that, Simons. And, he's gone to PSV now, and he's playing regular football, but you can see he's a real talent. And those runs in behind, that run from Gakpo and Seamans, they were a feature of PSV, especially in the second half. Gakpo had a bit of a nasty habit of getting caught offside on the evening, but finished a couple of chances really, really well. But just stay on side.
Yeah, just stay on side.
It's a learning curve.
Yeah, I mean,
Too keen.
Too keen,
That's
but they're very young and they want to get the job done, and
Exactly.
they were up against, Arsenal did very well in the defensive side on those chances. Interestingly, though, there's a really nice stat that's come out. If you're Ruud van Nistelrooy, that is. I think is a bit of an unwelcome omen now for Arsenal. Back in 2004, October the 24th, his goal ended Arsenal's 49-game unbeaten run.
Wow.
18 years and 3 days later, on October the 27th, as manager of PSV, he's ended Arsenal's 9-game unbeaten run.
Rude awakening.
Isn't it? Had you been keeping that without telling me?
Saved it.
You really had, hadn't it? OK, well, look, PSV are in action next week. They're against Bodo Glimt. But for Arsenal, I mean, you know, they are in a good position, as you say, but they do want that top spot. They don't want to be playing that extra game. And Zurich, whilst they've been bottom of the table, they did give them a hard time on match day one.
They did, but I think Arsenal would be delighted where they're at. They'd have won the game tonight, of course they would have done, but to put themselves in a better position. But as I think Mikel Arteta said there, it's been a long campaign, you know, in terms of how many games you've had to play, including the Premier League. And they would have took going into Zurich at home, match day 6, qualifying, because they will. They'll beat them.
OK. Well, look, there was one worrying piece of news coming from Arsenal this evening. It was regarding Arsenal's Pablo Mari. He's out on loan at Monza in Italy at the moment, but he was stabbed in an attack at a supermarket near Milan, which has resulted in 1 fatality so far. So Mari's injuries are not thought to be serious, but of course, everyone here at BT Sport wishes him a very speedy recovery.